I'm going to show you how to make scotchers. What you'll need is a big pan to boil it in, sugar, vanilla, white corn syrup, chocolate chips, peanut butter, a box of Rice Krispie cereal, measuring cups, and a tin foil pan to put them in. First step is adding a half cup of sugar to the pan. You want to make sure you put the sugar in first, because if you put the corn syrup in first, the sugar would end up sticking to the measuring cup. The second part is putting another half cup of corn syrup into the bowl. And then after you mix them together, and you want to set your stove not too high, somewhere in the middle. No. Once you add the sugar and corn syrup, you stir them together and wait for it to come to a boil, which means it gets bubbly all over the pan. Now once it's all bubbly like this, it's ready to be removed from the heat. Next, you add 3/4 cups of peanut butter to the sugar and corn syrup. And then you add 1 teaspoon of vanilla, or tablespoon. Stir it. And then you stir them all together. Go ahead and stop it. This is what it should look like after it's all mixed well in together. The next thing you want to do is pour it into the tin pan. Then you need to spread it around a little with the spatula, but then you'll also need to grab a metal spoon and flatten them down so they cover the whole pan and you can't see any tin foil. After you're done flattening it down, it helps if you run the spoon along the side and then move the spoon over it really fast, and that helps them be easier to eat and more moist when you're eating them. Next is when you would add the half chocolate chips and half butterscotch chips, but I like mine to be extra chocolatey, so I add a whole bag of chocolate chips and just take the butterscotch out. After you dump it, you take it and let them microwave for 3 minutes until they're completely melted. And while that's cooking, it's a good idea to rinse off your spatula, because you're going to need the spatula to stir in the chocolate chips. It's a good thing to pause it maybe around 2 minutes and stir the chocolate chips together. That way they melt easier and you don't have chocolate chips left over on the top. And then you can just pop them back in for the remainder of the time. Once they come out of the microwave, you want to make sure you quickly stir them before they harden, and you want to pour them over the mixture on the bowl. Over the Rice Krispie treats and peanut butter. Next, you need to pour the chocolate chips over the mixture that's in the pan and make sure you get as much of it out as you can. After you pour them on there, you want to spread the chocolate evenly around the bars and make sure you cover all of them. Best to cut them while they're still warm because the knife slides into them a lot better rather than when they're hard and cold. After done cutting them, you can let them sit for an hour until they're ready to be eaten, or you can stick them in the freezer if you'd like the process to speed up faster. Once the chocolate has cooled, you're ready to eat them. There you go.
Thank you, Chef Carly.
Yep.
These freaking rock!